Coastal management. In this video, you'll be focusing on soft engineering methods at the coast. You'll be able to define what soft engineering is, give a description of the three methods, which are beach nourishment, beach reprofiling and sand dune regeneration, and you'll also look at the benefits and costs of each strategy. So soft engineering is managing erosion by working with natural processes to help restore beaches and coastal ecosystems. When compared to hard engineering methods, these are cheaper, however they are also typically less effective. So the first strategy we are going to look at is beach nourishment. This method replaces sediment which has been lost. This helps to reduce erosion because if the beach is bigger, the wave energy is dispersed on the beach and there is less likelihood that the wave will reach the land. There are two ways sand can be replaced on a beach. Beach recharge, which is where sediment is dredged, so you pump in the sediment from the seabed, and then this is spread out onto the beach using bulldozers. The other method is beach recycling, which is removal of sand from the downdrift area, which has been building up, and returning it updrift. So basically you're moving it from down the beach back up to the top of the beach again. Another strategy is beach reprofiling. This is the artificial reshaping of a beach. During the winter, storms will cause destructive waves to become dominant. So erosion will happen and material is moved down the beach. So following the winter, a bulldozer will move the sediment back up the beach. This reduces erosion because it ensures the beach is large enough to be an effective buffer between land and sea. And sand dune regeneration. This is artificially creating sand dunes or restoring existing dunes. Sand dunes act as a barrier between the sea and the land, and they absorb wave energy and water. As a result of this, they help to protect the land from the sea. Okay, moving on to beach reprofiling. This method helps locals feel safe. They know that there is a buffer between them and the sea. It also looks very natural. It costs about £30 million over 25 years, which is relatively cheap when compared to the potential of repair costs for damage caused by erosion. The negatives of this method is like that with beach nourishment, that during the reprofiling, access to the beach is restricted for safety. And if the sediment is moved into a profile which is too steep, this can make the beach look unnatural. Now moving on to sand dune regeneration. This has many benefits. For example, it helps to protect the land behind the sand dunes. They are also very popular for picnic and walking areas. Volunteer groups can be used for planting vegetation, which can help reduce the costs. Creating and repairing sand dunes helps create new habitats and ecosystems. However, during the regeneration, the sand dunes are fenced off for protection from people trampling over them. The dunes have to be maintained and checked at least twice a year. Some sand dunes will never stabilise, and the vegetation can take between 2 to 3 years to establish. Therefore, this strategy can be very time constraining. Finally, a storm can damage and destroy dunes. Now that you have revised soft engineering coastal management, have a go at deciding if these statements are true or false. The two methods used during beach nourishment are beach recharge and beach recycling. Soft engineering is more expensive and more effective than hard engineering. A disadvantage of using sand dunes is that the vegetation which helps stabilise it can take 2 to 3 years to grow. During beach nourishment and beach reprofiling, access to the beach can be restricted, and large beaches and sand dunes are attractive for tourists. Pause the video now before the answers are shown. So the first statement is true. Beach recharge and beach recycling are methods used for beach nourishment. The second statement is false. Soft engineering is cheap but less effective. The third statement is true. The plants used to help stabilise sand dunes can take 2 to 3 years to grow. The fourth statement is true. Beach access can be restricted during these activities. And the final statement is also true. Tourists are attracted to large sandy beaches.